Good morning or evening, friends, as the case may be. Bobby Gray here, filling in for Gage, who is on his way to the airport. It's the last day of our Freedom Field trip to Thailand. I don't know if you would count the last day as the day that everybody leaves, but we're out of here. Most of our friends, 165 of us, they have not already departed, are heading back to reality, back to life, back to whatever part of the planet they are in from. And a small handful of us are actually continuing on to Singapore for Toka 2049, which is actually really awesome. We dropped quite a bit of money on that event. It was last minute and it was under expected. We wanted to be there. We were planning on being in that part of the world, but it was expensive. And so it wasn't on our radar until we had, the last 5, 6, 7 weeks of amazing sales. And we said, we're there. We've got a shot. Let's go for it. And so I'll be getting on the plane in a couple of hours. So I only have about an hour and 15 minutes maybe this morning to work with you. So some of you will be bummed out to find out that this is probably not going to be the world's most thought-provoking sales call. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I have no idea where Gage left off. And so I am unable to fill those shoes. But we do have a couple things brewing that need attention right now. And I'm going to hopefully say some meaningful things in the next few moments, maybe before the coffee hits my veins, that we can share with everybody else that's not here, because we got a couple things going on that need attention. So having said that, if you've got questions that need answers, pop them into the Q&A. Please excuse the environment and noise today. This is under expected for me to be here with you. So I don't have my microphone on and I don't have really good lighting, but maybe they'll turn the lighting on here in the kitchen area or the downstairs lobby area sometime soon. My man Tim, or as he goes by recently, Sergeant Bull Numbnuts, is joining for the call. And there's the coffee. Stay is safe. Let's get it back on the rails. So, having said all that, thanks, and let's dive into it. So, what you missed a moment ago while you were saving my brain power is we've got some drama brewing, and I am thinking that this call is going to be more of a Q&A than an intense sales call.
Okay.
So stick around as long as you like. It can be a sales call if we have salesy things to say. I don't have really anything useful in my brain yet, but we're live. We've got 78 trillion people on this call. Actually, there are 30 of us. But
let's dig right in.
Yeah, so I sent a message out to the main group and said, yo, this is probably going to be more of a, yes, it is being recorded, Steve. This is probably going to be more of a Q&A, because we haven't done an extensive Q&A the last couple of calls. And Gage says the link won't let me join. Is that true? Is this an unjoinable link? Let's see if I can give you some more details on how to get in. Invite. Copy, invite. Well, there's a meeting passcode. Is that something that's required? 752135. So here's the meeting link. Meeting link. And then if you need a passcode, it's passcode is 752135. So Tim and I and a couple others, on the other hand, are continuing on to Singapore this morning. So we've got a flight to catch in a couple hours. We'll wave goodbye to the land of smiles, which has served us very well over the last couple of days. And we will head off to Singapore, where we've got an event that we're sponsoring tonight. And then we've got Toka 2049 tomorrow. And what's the one that comes after tomorrow? Thursday. And then we've got the I guess our big event is Wednesday night. Is today Tuesday? Wednesday night is our big event. Tim's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be funny on these calls, or is this more of a serious thing? I'm not really sure what's going on. It's early. We haven't had coffee. We don't know if we paid for a bag. We're gonna get there one way or another. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is not good. It's scams. I want to share my screen with you here, and I want to show you what we're looking at in terms of scammy risk. If I go into, let's see, where can I get that safe? If I go into my Telegram and we do a search for Reardon Metal, we will find an imposter. METAL. We will find the imposter Bobby Gray account. I don't know why it's not showing up. Maybe it's because it's hiding from me. Let's see if it comes in over here. T.me slash Reardon Metal. There you go. So right here, and they even were kind enough to update the scam account with the latest emoticon. But this is a scam account, guys. This is something that needs to be reported. It's something that looks suspiciously a lot like me until a few moments ago when I changed my profile to Bobby Don't Trust Any Account Gray. So my new name here is Bobby Don't Trust Any Accounts Gray. And the reason I did that is because many of you have been contacted by this other fake Telegram account and have been invited to join a couple different things. Number one is you've been invited to join an Ultraman AI Forex trading bot investment opportunity thing. Not me, not us. You've been invited to upgrade your account for special promotional things that don't actually exist. And you've been invited to make a payment to accounts that don't belong to us. And this is a really, really sad thing because the world is full of scams. And I tried to point out to you in welcome email number 1 that we have to be careful. There's a scam around every corner in crypto. There's a scam around every corner on planet Earth these days. And so I'm trying to find the welcome email. There's a lot that we have to be extremely concerned and cautious about as we get into some of the more advanced concepts of crypto, but also as our awesomeness increases. Let me find the welcome email here. Where is welcome email? Let's get started. Welcome to Monday. I think this is it here. Maybe we can't see this because it's all zeros and ones. But guys, I got some really sad news earlier today that somebody that works for us at our office in McKinney got scammed for $8,000, thinking that they were talking to me, thinking that they were upgrading their account with a special 9+3 offer. Got scammed for $8,000. And, of course, they want to know what I'm going to do about it. And I'm like, well, look, I feel bad just like you do, but I don't have the ability to right every wrong on planet Earth. That's a real challenge for us. It's disappointing that somebody is using our name and our likeness to go out there and do that. But you got to remember that that's not us. And so, we've been hacked a couple times. We've had some, not hacks, but people that have deceived us, and we're all learning, sometimes the hard way, how important it is to be extremely cautious and to be skeptical and questioning everything. So you'll never get a message from us asking you to send us money. If we're responding to one of your inquiries, double check the address. If you pay us through the main website, if you go into your back office and you click and you get a QR code there, then that's really the only way that you should be trusting the information that you're finding, if you're getting it through the back office. If our back office ended up getting hacked or we lost money because of a hack that happened on our side, then we would pay for that. But if somebody contacts you and you think it's us or you think it's somebody I've had people's Facebook accounts get compromised, not even mine, and I'll get a message from someone who I think is somebody else asking for a couple $100 of travel expenses. and poof, the money's gone. And what makes it extremely frustrating with crypto is that you can't just walk down to your bank and, give them your debit card number and tell them that somebody hacked the account and you can get a full refund. There's no refunds, there's no do-overs, there's no second chances, there's no password resets. All of those modern banking conveniences are gone. And we pay for those things. We pay for them through inflation. We pay through them for them through hidden fees. We think that we're getting free checking accounts, but we pay for all that stuff. Usually, the merchant pays for that through the 3% transaction charges that they're getting hit for when we tap to pay, and that number adds up to $500 billion a year. So it's not like they're giving you your money back out of the goodness of your heart. They're just charging you for it somewhere else. And so, the silver lining in this sad thing is that our project is now getting so big that it's garnering the attention of a lot of people, and many of those people are bad, and many of those people are going to prey on us because they know that we're new, they know that we're inexperienced, they know that we are not familiar with all these many and different ways of spoofing and man in the middle attacking. Like, they're going to try to exploit us because we're idealistic, because we, haven't been hardened by, a dozen years of exchange bankruptcies and wallet failures and all those things that have brought the crypto, community and the Bitcoin bros to the level of skepticism that they are today. That, is what makes it difficult for us to engage and approach them. It's a double-edged sword. You hit up a Bitcoin guy and you say, "Hey, bro, you want to jump in on this TexitCoin thing?" Scam. They've been trained well. That's the good news. So you got to break through that barrier with them and go, yeah. Most of these things that you get hit up with on Telegram are scams. This one's not. But at the same time, when people hit us with those and they look suspiciously a lot like this guy on their profile picture, it's really hard for us to discern the difference, especially when the profile name is only off by one letter. And so we have to build that same awareness, that same understanding, that same healthy skepticism for these other projects. And eventually someday we'll be those guys that are brick walling everyone that comes along saying, "I've got an opportunity for you." But we'll work through that later as we get more familiar with, how to learn about new projects, how to tell the difference between good ones and bad ones, how to verify information before you make payment and all that stuff. So we have to start there with talking about the rampant contact requests that are going on right now across Telegram. The other part of that as well is we're going to make a training video on how to secure your Telegram account. You can go into your profile and you can lock your Telegram account down so that it becomes very difficult for somebody that you don't know to send you a message. You can have that hidden, you can show up in your archive, you can block new messages from anybody that's outside of your contact list. Again, it doesn't eliminate any and all scam opportunity, but it does decrease the likelihood of somebody popping up in your inbox that you really don't know and shouldn't trust. And so that's a really, really big important thing for us to start our conversation with here today. Again, some of it's not always good news, but we're going to work through these things together. And they don't call you falafel unless you're prepared to come to these kind of battles, even without coffee running through your veins. Anything to add to our scam thing?
I just think the message is, again, if it's something out of the norm that you haven't done before, then it doesn't hurt to double check, right? It doesn't hurt to reach out to somebody else before you send any money, for sure, and be like, "Hey, this is what I seen. Is this the new promotion?" And most people are gonna be like, "No, I've never heard of that." Well, I got a message from Bobby. Well, then that should be a red flag, right?
Yeah.
So just double check. It doesn't hurt in anything. I mean, not only the crypto thing, but man, these scams are coming up in all kinds of stuff now. And
Everything.
I mean, I'm seeing it all over the place. So now I'm hesitant. I didn't even pay a toll tag thing because I thought it was a scam, right? I'm like, "Nope, scam." And sure enough, it wasn't a scam. I should have paid it. So that was the other way. But I'm like,
How
"No,
can you ever know?
I'm not going to get scammed."
And like the most unlikely of people, like my wife comes to me, she's like, "We have to pay this right now." And I'm like, "Well, what is it?" She's like, it's something for the company and it's we've got 90 days to do it." I'm like, "Babe, that's phishing. They find out that you registered a new company. They send you some, pay this registration fee. It's $90. It looks official. The address
Yep.
on it is in Austin. So how could it be a scam? I'm like, it's a phishing attempt. It's not even a scam. It's just hoping that somebody's not paying attention and it's going to send them $90. And it must be working because they're doing it.
Yep. Yep, for sure. So it doesn't hurt to double check. Just, protect yourself, especially with what Bobby was saying, the way that we're going. We're starting to be on the radar with different things. And so just double check. If it's something different and out of the norm, it doesn't hurt to make a couple extra phone calls.
And there's no way to get down to 0.0% scam. We will never be able to make ourselves bulletproof in that regard. All we can do is educate ourselves, raise awareness, spread the message, develop that healthy skepticism about people sending you messages, even if it looks like they're people you know. All we have to go on in crypto is the community. That's it. We have each other. And so we have to learn these things together. Like I said, sometimes the hard way, and that's painful. But the bottom line is that we only have each other. And so, even if you reach out to people you think are on the team, make sure get yourself to the highest level of likelihood before you part ways with your hard-earned cash. Once you put your cash in, that's the only time we're going to ask you for money. If you want to upgrade, you can do it through your back office. If you get a random message telling you special offer, please be skeptical. Okay, it's very important because we'll never have enough money to make every wrong right. Even if we wanted to, it's not the right way for us to use our resources. Our resources that we crowdsource are supposed to go to building the mine and promoting our project and adding liquidity and paying the developers and all that stuff. And we end up having to set up a separate pool for scams and, ripoffs. We would run out of money very, very quickly. So let's be careful as we go into this bright, exciting future of uncharted crypto territory. All right. So that's unprovoked Q&A answer number one. Don't get scammed. Where are we at on number two? Let's see what kind of questions we got going on here. We got, I didn't need it. Didn't need a code. Thank you. Once you register, you have to scroll down and register, click CB, not click. Hi, Bobby and team. I'm wondering, with the awesome promotion of TXC in Asia, how will this interact with 10% outside USA cap? We're not over here. That's a great question, Nick. Is it Nick or Nick 1 or Nick E? I'm not sure. Nick 1, the answer to your question is you got to remember, first and foremost, we are not pitching TexitCoin mining over here. It wasn't part of the discussion at all on Friday night at our big event. And we're not walking around for the most part. If we bump into people on the street and we're having a conversation, oh, I'm a TextCoin miner. Oh, what does that mean? Well, you pay your $1,000, blah, blah, blah. You want to sign up? So we're not over here as our primary objective or even a secondary objective pitching TexitCoin mining. So we're not here to try to bring on people to fill up that 10% cap. We're over here to share our story of peace and prosperity, number one. And number two is we're here to encourage people to consider the idea of jumping on our rocket ship by acquiring TexitCoin, the digital asset, right? That's the major mission over here on this side of the world. So in the USA, we're working on filling the seats on the rocket ship. Over here in Asia, we're working on getting people to be interested in joining us as supporters of our project by picking up handfuls of TexitCoin. Okay, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. We've talked about these before. I'll go over them real quickly right now, just to remind you. We've got it on video. But number one is this is our target community for the digital asset of TXC. The reason is that our Asia friends, number one, is where 60% of crypto trading already goes down. Japan, Korea, China are the three biggest markets in the world for crypto trading. They represent 60% of all crypto trading. They love crypto over here on this side of the world. They love speculating. They love gambling. They love, our culture and our values. They love Western stuff. We've got our friend Jim over here who has been decked out this whole time in his Western fare, making friends and sharing our brand with people on this side of the world. And so what we want to do is we want to bring TexitCoin here primarily because they've got decades and decades of US dollars stacking up, trillions of them in warehouses. And I want to get my grubby little hands on some of that and bring it back and put it in our pockets. Why? Because we've got a trade imbalance, right? 90% of all the stuff that we buy, Amazon and Walmart, comes from China. And so it's like, well, what do we make in our country if we keep sending all the dollars that way and we bring, all this cheap plastic stuff this way, what are we exporting? What are we sharing? What are we creating that they want? TexitCoin is something that they want. They may or may not know it yet. What is a currency? A currency is a promise. So we're not looking to like send it over there and be like, ha, no give backs. We got the dollars back. I was going to say a yucky word there. I caught it just at the last second. We're not saying now you're stuck with it. We're saying a currency is a promise. Pick up our currency. If we're successful and our mission continues to grow and succeed, we think that currency is going to grow in value over time. And then let's trade. What can we create that you're going to be interested in being a part of? We don't know yet. Our major focus right now is three things. We're building the mine, we're building the code, the layer one stuff, and then we're building out the community currencies. Those things will all be relevant primarily to us in Texas and in the rest of America as we get into phase two. Then we've got phase three. And then we've got the idea of all of the people that are part of our community coming up with ideas. Hey, I've got a great idea. We can use the TXC blockchain for this, or we can use it for that, or we can use it for this other thing. And as all these things get built on top of the TXC blockchain, we develop what we call an ecosystem. Now, I hate the word ecosystem because it's what everybody else in crypto uses to describe a thing that they don't understand. If you walk into any of these crypto conferences, as I warned Tim, we'll find out tomorrow the hard way. You walk up to a booth and there's a very pretty young lady there that's all dressed up, handing out, little flyers and brochures for her project. And you say, hello there, young lady. Would you like to tell me a little bit about blah, 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 blockchain, blah, blah, blah? And she goes, sure, we're a Web3 disruptive ecosystem, blah, 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 word salad. And that's all they get, right? Most of them are there's the lights. Most of them are undereducated when it comes to the realm of the things that we're talking about. And that's not bad. It just makes them probably a paid actor that's working there for the day. But the point is that we understand what these things mean. And what we're doing is we're developing our own ecosystem. The same way people build on Bitcoin and Ethereum, they will build on TexitCoin. Who? Probably primarily people in Texas and America that are looking at blockchain technology as an amazing way to add transparency to anything and saying, hey, I'd like to start this kind of business. Wouldn't it be great if I build it on blockchain technology and increase the likelihood that this thing is going to be trusted and respected by the community? And so as we build those things, our friends from the other side of the world can say, oh, I've got some TexitCoin. I'd like to participate in your ecosystem. I've got some TexitCoin. I'd like to come and join your video game. I've got some TexitCoin. I'd like to play in your online casino. What are all the things? I don't know. But remember, a currency at the core is a promise. So if we're selling our currency on the other side of the world, we're going to have to expect that someday we may have to make good on that promise, the promise to trade. Promise to trade with a trustworthy medium of exchange. It's fast, that's easy to use, that's inexpensive to use. That's what's coming next for us as we export our story of peace and prosperity and our currency, a promise to trade fairly to our friends in Asia. That's what we're over here promoting. That's what we're over here selling. That's what we're over here sharing. We're not working to bring on wholesale groups of foreigners as owners in the Texas mine. That's for Texans and for Americans primarily. Now, when we get into phase three, that flips. And we will be promoting building a mine over here in Asia for Asians. We'll have a limited number of seats on that for our friends back in America. So the tables will turn eventually, someday. We're not there yet. We need to stay focused on the goals that we have in front of us today. But that's what we'll promote once we get into phase three, which we talked a little bit in that fun Asian documentary that Johan put together for us that we enjoyed on Friday night. So if you haven't seen that documentary yet, check it out. It's a pretty good overview of the 5-year plan. And of course, it's the plan that we expect that'll take us up to 800 beyond. My goal is 2,800. We haven't published the path to 2,800 article yet, but it is coming soon, I assure you.
And the voiceover, Bobby Gray. It's like God is speaking to you from the heavens and he's telling Bobby's story.
It was so fun and embarrassing when that Bobby Gray popped up on the screen there and it looked nothing like me whatsoever. And the whole place erupted in laughter. And I'm like, I don't know if that's good, you know. The whole room breaks out laughing when the fake AI picture of you pops up on screen. It might be cause for concern. We couldn't really hear all the laughter for the noise in the back of the room from all the people that were chowing down on our $8,000 fish, but the message was shared. Okay, so anyway, so that's the first question I saw there in the Q&A, other than what we already talked about. And you do not, okay, we get it. Passcode, be darned. Any ACH pause updates?
Yeah.
What do you have there, Tim?
Yeah, so we're getting there, guys. Honestly, what the biggest thing was now that we were going through is we have so many people that have filled out the forms where they're incorrect information. So we had about 35 chargebacks that we're sifting through right now too, which caused the bank to say, "Hey, what's all this thing? Why are we getting all these chargebacks in a short amount of time?" Because we were going to increase our limit so that once we automate this and put this on MineTXC, that we had enough for everybody. Again, remember, when it was just me and my team, it was very easily manageable. Then we opened it up to a lot of people. It started to get large, and then we started to see all these different problems. So we're at the point to where we've got it to where we can put it on the website. It's not going live yet till we fix. Maybe we might end up coming up with something to where we have a picture of it, make everybody write a picture of a check or write a check.
Snap
That way,
a picture. Yep.
yep, snap a picture. That way we have the correct information. Also, we had people that put through things multiple times. So I have been brought up to speed that there's been 2 or 3 people that I know of that have been double charged. So for a seat. So if that was you, we're making it right and we're taking care of that. But again, there's just some processes that we need to fix before we can turn this back on and make it go live again. So as to when that date is going to be, I'm not sure. We're still sifting through that stuff, but we're hoping. I'm hoping within the week.
Okay, it's a fair answer. We've got the development side done to integrate that into the front end. There were 2 challenges with the ACH. One was the manual entry that had to go down because of the way the systems were not linked together. So now we've done the linking of the systems. We've got the development side out of the way. So once we get the business rules figured out and the risk management side with the banking stuff, we'll be able to roll that out actually very quickly. So coming soon, hopefully this week. But remember, guys, we don't want to bank on. It's pretty good, right?
Good.
It's 7 a.m.
Half a cup of coffee in, and
we don't want to bank on ACH as the answer to our prayers. Ultimately, we're trying to get into crypto. Remember crypto, the thing that's the future of money, the language we want to learn so that we can hang out with crypto kids and get into all the other stuff. I published a really important article the other day that I don't really tell anybody about. Let's see if we can find it here. I published an article the other day that talked about not the path to 16, not the path to 80, not the path to 800, but TexitCoin being the on-ramp to DeFi and crypto literacy. What does that mean? What it means is that at the core of our project, we've got education. All right, TexitCoin is cool, but TexitCoin is the manifestation of the need and desire and outright like the requirement for us to learn about crypto. Guys, if we don't learn about this, look at what almost happened with the central bank digital currency, right? People are like, what's CBDC? Oh, wait, that's the federal government jamming a digital currency down our throat. And so enough people learned at minimum what CBDC meant that they could start calling congressmen and senators and saying, vote no, vote no, vote no. New administration went in and kind of killed that stuff, which was good. But if enough people weren't saying this could be a problem, it could have happened. So if we don't get literate about these things now, then we're going to be prepared for what's coming down the pike, and will be unable to prevent things, or at least will be unable to participate in discussion about whether or not things are good or bad because we don't know what they are. So at the core of our project is this literacy requirement that says, look, if we learn these things, we won't get ripped off later. That's the bare minimum. That's the backstop. Now, what I'm saying to you is if we learn these things as the world continues its adoption of crypto, we've got an upside. What's the upside called? It's called TexitCoin. We were talking the other day about how it's very rare seeing me in some sort of TexitCoin gear. And the reason is because I want you to learn about crypto. And if you learn about crypto, then it's highly likely that you'll end up discovering TexitCoin and realizing that it is the best version of crypto. And so we want people to learn about crypto so that they can prepare, so that they can defend, so that they can participate, join the discussion, and have that opportunity for upside. You need a vehicle as you're getting into crypto. That vehicle for us is called TexitCoin. It's got a tremendous amount of upside because it's so new. Because even though we're one of the biggest raises ever in the history of crypto, the majority of the crypto community still has no idea who we are. That's going to change soon, but that's where the upside comes from. The upside comes from your knowledge and our vehicle. We've built it together. We're building it every day, day in, day out. That's where the win happens. Okay. So we have to learn this stuff. We got to become crypto literate. So in this article, we're talking about, the importance of understanding the basic fundamentals, because once we understand it, there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's called DeFi. Imagine a world where you don't need a bank to borrow, lend, or transfer money, where you don't have to ask permission to move funds, where profits don't flow to Wall Street, they flow back to individuals. It's called DeFi. It's here right now. If you click on my little MetaMask guy in my browser, you'll see that I got $2 million sitting here in this one account, 1.948, rough night for account. You can see that I've got $7,500 sitting in this account. I can swap, I can send, I can buy, sell, I can get into DeFi, I can stake, I can lend. There's so much stuff that I can do. And all these things, while they're, some of them are kind of, they're advanced, tools that maybe not all of us are going to need. They are tools that are servicing the needs of the community. And so if you say, well, okay, I don't really want to borrow money, but I know that some people are going to want to borrow money. And if I can get a fully collateralized loan that essentially is risk-free, taking into consideration, basic issues like the power going out, now you've got an opportunity to put your crypto that you're maybe not using right now at work for somebody else that wants to take your capital. That's real capital. That's capital that comes from an individual's pocket, not from fractional banking cooking up credit out of thin air. So fundamentally, the money is sound. The idea that we're borrowing sound money, real money, earned money, and not fake money is really cool. The idea that real money being borrowed puts cash into his pocket, or my pocket, or your pocket is really cool. But we can't get there if we're not learning about this stuff. As long as we give you guys an ACH option or a credit card option or a Zelle or a Cash App or a Venmo option, we're not getting there. We're not getting to where we want us to go as a community of students that are learning how to participate in this financial revolution where money is getting back under control of individuals and normal people like us. Guys, we had a party last night. 150 of us got together. And the message there was, we're having a great time, but this is what happens when you take a bunch of normal individual people. Lots of us are outsiders. I'm not born into a family that's got a silver spoon. I'm not a guy whose dad works for a Fortune 500 company. I'm not plugged into the Federal Reserve money printing machine. You're probably not either if you're on this call. We're just people that have to work for a living like almost everybody else. And so we have now with crypto the ability to be insiders. That's what they brag about. Be your own bank. Have your own little money printer in the palm of your hand. That's what we've got. It's an amazing, amazing concept that most of the people on this call and in our community still have yet to embrace. They showed up here because they heard that there was an opportunity to get rich. And I hope that's true for all of us. But what I want you to stick around for is the opportunity to get smart. And by getting smart, you stop the bleeding that happens with the US dollar. And by stopping the bleeding, you watch your quality of life stay. Like you're not like trying to keep your head above water, treading water day in, day out. You go, okay, now I've held the line. Now let's go the other direction. Let's start to improve. Let's put some more cash back in our own pockets. Let's improve the quality of our lives. Let's spend more time with our families. Let's take more freedom field trips. Let's do all this stuff because we learned why we're losing ground, why we're getting ripped off, who's doing it, why it's happening, and we start to reverse that trend and move in the other direction. That's the power that's at the core of our project. We will never get there if we don't learn this stuff. So as frustrating and as painful and slow and time consuming as it may be to on ramp through crypto, we kind of need you to do it. And I want you to take this as like a personal directive for me to stop thinking inside of the banking box, right? Let's think outside the dollar. Let's think about crypto. How do we on ramp? Well, that's not easy, guys. It's not easy. We've been wrestling with it from day one. Coinbase locks an account, freezes your money for 7 days. That's frustrating. I want in today. Well, I appreciate the passion, but I need you to start to get into crypto. Why? Because TexitCoin is our on-ramp into the world of DeFi. We're starting here with something real simple. I'll send you a coin in the mail. That's the wallet that your crypto mining output pays to. You don't have to do anything else. Then you can sit back and start to tune into the Zoom calls, participate in the discussion, join the real Telegram channel, and learn and learn. And we go from skeptic to pioneers, right? So this is the stuff that comes next. We continue growing. We do exactly what people are asking me. What do we have to do, man? I want it so bad. I can feel it. I can taste it. What do I have to do? Do exactly what we're doing right now. Share our story with people, be the change that you want to see in the world, be a good ambassador of our brand and our values. That's it. And we got it. That's all we have to do. We have to continue growing. How do we grow? By doing the same thing that we've done to get us to the successful place where we are today. Sergeant what it never comes. What is it?
Sergeant Jack Bullnuts, which I'm not.
He's not. He's very gentle. We call him Gentle Tim in the inner circles. So we continue doing exactly what we're doing now, and then we get literate. We continue teaching people what money really is, why the old system is broken, and how crypto fixes it. The more literate our community becomes, the harder it is for the old system to cheat us. Guys, that's like almost a mission statement right there. Then what comes next? DeFi. We prepare our community to take advantage of decentralized finance opportunities, lending, swaps, bridges, the kind of tools that were once locked behind the doors of the banks are now open and accessible to us. We didn't expect to be here, guys. We're taking a bunch of, people that would have never been caught dead in crypto, and we're learning the language, we're learning the lingo, we're learning the tools. It's really powerful stuff, but we got to be careful, as we talked about earlier. And so let go of the ACH. Yeah, it's convenient, but it just shifts the burden from your shoulders to non-Sergeant Jim Jack. Anyway, learn crypto, guys. There's a world of opportunity that lays just on the other side of that little knowledge barrier. It's going to take some time. It's going to feel uncomfortable. There's going to be a learning curve. You're going to pay some price for the terrible lessons of hackers and phishers and all the other things that we have to start watching out for now as this project gets big. But that's what comes next for us. All right, next question. What is up with the air causing some wallets to get? I was hoping we'd get to this question. This is literally the last thing that I wanted to talk about here today. And then we will move on to other Q&A that you got, or we'll say goodbye and we'll take our bags over to the airplane and move on to Singapore. Okay. So this is actually a really big thing, and it's going to take us a little while to get through it. But here we go. All right, I'm going to do a screen share here, and there's a lot of stuff coming through. So get ready, buckle up. Here we go. Okay, guys, it goes like this. You found the smoking gun. You found out the hard evidence that you needed to figure out Your worst fear realized. The TexitCoin's a scam. We've got the smoking gun. Have you heard about this lately? So the system double paid out yesterday for some and didn't pay out for others. Okay. So what happened? Uh, how is it possible that I got paid out twice? Isn't the mining output fixed? Apparently, there's hidden coins there that they weren't. Okay. So we're going to go through this real quick. This is being recorded. And so a lot of people have this question, and this is going to be the definitive answer because I'll show you what's happening in the Telegram chat. Well, let me make sure that the Telegram chat is safe first. We'll go into Robbie Roo. All good tomorrow. Okay. Here we go. So let's share the screen. Hopefully you can see my Telegram screen here. Peeps are questioning if this is a real blockchain based on the double payout to some accounts yesterday. Explanation to give to them. This is about the 100th time that I've heard this. I got paid twice. Clearly, this is a scam. So this is what we're going to go through. Okay. So first of all, the Explorer answers all. And so we've got two Explorers now. The other one is txcmempool.com. And so if you go to TXC Mempool, you'll see a different version of what we have here in the traditional Explorer. Oh my gosh, look at the market price crash down to $3.79. Yes. Is that real? Let me take a look at CoinMarketCap real quick because this could be exciting and terrible all at the same
While I'm
time.
doing this, I'm gonna go buy some coins.
Don't buy all the coins. I want some. I wish there was a button in the
$4.10.
410. It's crashing, guys. Normally I would make a joke and say something like sell, sell, sell. I got 484 on CoinMarketCap. So let's go over to markets and see where all this crashing prices coming. I'm 491, 478, 529, 504. Where are you seeing that?
Dextrade off of,
Well, let's
or
go
not Dextrade off of Bitcoin.
off of Bitmart. Well, the latest price reported here is 491. It's definitely falling, but let's take a look. Load it up. And it says 490.
Our system.
The system. Dixie purchase over here is showing 508. It's in the little fives, but I don't know why you're showing that. 410 in the TexitCoin wallet, huh?
Yeah.
See if you can refresh that because that's a problem. Anyway, buy or sell. Don't we need like a Jim Cramer button here, like a bull noise or something? Okay, well, we've gotten distracted here. Let's get back to what we were talking about. The TexitCoin mempool shows you everything that's going on with the blockchain, all the blocks that came out, how many transactions were included in each block. Now, anytime a block comes out and there's only one transaction in it, that's because this is a mining reward. Okay, so you can follow the money. As they say, follow the money. Let's take a look at this 254 coin mining reward and see where it pays out. It pays out to this wallet that ends in GVR. Okay. Every single transaction for a block reward pays out to that GVR. So if you want to go down, change this from 10 entries to 100 entries, and you can look at any one of these transactions that's only one per block, and you see that it's paying out for this GVR wallet. That's really good. If you ever see that the blockchain is not paying out the GVR, that's bad. At the heart of our system, the thing that makes us great is a permission blockchain. Remember, we take the best of both worlds, a mineable coin like Litecoin Doge that you can profitably mine, and a permission network like XRP that can't get 51% attacked, can't get mined by China, can't get mined by the guy with the deepest pockets and the most hardware. That's what we've got. And so what that means is that every block reward gets paid out to our system, okay, to our miners. Well, it gets paid out to our miners by way of this GVR wallet, all right? And so if you look at this GVR wallet, you're always going to see all the transactions coming directly into this wallet. So it's 254, 254. Oh, well, how come I got some extra? Well, there was a transaction that took place in this block, and that transaction incurred a transaction fee. So go us. These are new coins, but we also collected the transaction fee. We haven't talked to you guys much about transaction fees yet. We'll get there in time. But you can track every block reward, and every block reward always pays out to this wallet. Okay. So the wallet pays out just after midnight UTC, and it pays out directly to you. It doesn't go through me. I don't have to do anything. And so we look at the wallet and we check it out right after midnight and we see exactly what's happening. So we have to go back a couple pages now because we're coming up on midnight. So let's keep going. Hold on, we're loading the next page. Come on, next page. You got this. Refreshing. I think my internet died. Am I still here? Can I get a hand if I'm still here? Oh, okay, I'm back. There we go. There's a hand. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. So let me go back to sharing my screen. So what happens in the system, and I refresh the page, it brought us back to where we started, but let's change it to 100 records per page. And then let's jump back to page 4, because that's probably going to bring us up. Okay. So look at what happens here then just after midnight. Okay, so we're coming up on midnight. Boom, midnight hits, and the system goes, yo, I need to start paying out. And you can see all of these coins getting paid out. And we have to do it in small chunks so we don't kill the system. And then the blocks start coming back in again, right? So this is the wallet paying out. And so if you look at this wallet at the end of the day, it's got 102,000 coins in it. So we've got more coins in the wallet at the end of the day. Where's the end of the day? The end of the day is right here. So it's got 100,000 coins in it. Okay. So we know that the network's going to produce plus or minus, 95,000 coins a day. The network's been very, very bad over the last couple of weeks. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we had to put money into the wallet so that once the wallet accumulates additional funds, it's able to pay out. So there's extra money in this wallet. So we've got extra money in this wallet. It's accumulating all this stuff. And then the system starts the payouts. And you can see the payouts happen over time. We can't do them all at once because we don't want to jam 30,000 plus transactions into the blockchain at one time. We'll overload the system. And so it keeps going. Look, it's taking hours for the system to pay out all of these different wallets. Thousands of wallets are getting paid out. Okay. So here it is. It's paying out. And you can see all the money moving out of the main wallet. Remember, this is that GVR wallet. And it's going, and still at 2:21 a.m. We're still making, okay, well, it looks like the system finished. Well, then I wake up or I look at my phone and I have a group on my phone called notifications. Okay. So somewhere in here, and hopefully you can still see my screen. I get notifications. I get notifications if the block time is slow. I also get notifications if the reward does not go out properly. And so what happens is the system says, hey, we weren't able to actually pay out the reward because there was one member. There was one member in the system of 33,000 that didn't have a wallet. And because this one member didn't have a wallet, the system failed. It failed to reward. Okay. Now, over there, you can see that it was saying that it failed to reward 170 out of 199. So the system does 199 transactions to get everyone paid. And I think it only got 170 out of 199 done. But here's why that matters. Because if you go back and you look at the failure from the day before, check it out. You got all of these, wallets that didn't have, you had all these accounts that didn't have wallets. And so we had to go in and fix every single one of them. Okay. Well, what happened next is I went into the system and I clicked the button that we've got here, which I'll show you for reward. Where's my reward button? No. There's my reward. It's looking right at me, but I can't tell. There it is. So there's a reward page here, and this shows how much was paid out, how much was shared, and how much was paid out to every single member. Okay. there's a button up here that says rerun. Now that button is grayed out. Why? Because we gray out that button now if the reward is already in process. So you see how it takes hours for the reward to successfully run. And so what I did yesterday was I saw that error when I woke up. I fixed whatever wallets were giving us a problem. You guys travel safe, all right? Great to meet you guys. I saw this error here and I said, well, I better click that button. I clicked it and the reward was already in process of paying out. But again, it takes hours for it to pay out all these transactions now because our community is so large. So if you look at what happens here, you go throughout the day, we're at 5 a.m. now, and then we are at, come on, page, you got this. It's a lot of data now. It takes a while for it to load. We're working on architecture to speed things up. Waiting. What page are we going to? We're going to page 3. Page. There it is. Page 3. So the system is working fine. It's getting its block rewards. And I'm not sure. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before where this went down. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the data yet. Oh, there we go. All of a sudden now, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Universal Time, the system starts another payout. Why? Because I clicked on a button that I shouldn't have clicked on. So the developer has now gone through and manually checked each one of these transactions, and it's been a big deal. Take a look. Sorry for bad news. It seems like daily reward was doubled for some miners. So he sends me the message to alert me. I ran the daily reward about 2 hours ago and it failed with error notifications. I didn't notice it, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, it's because I pressed the reward button. We need to figure out how to disable the button if the script is already running for this and for commission. Because had the same problem, if you remember, that commission double paid. This is not your fault. It's a system issue. We didn't lose all today's reward, but some. I'm working to find the miners who got duplicated and who didn't receive the reward and how many TexitCoins were lost. So that's a real challenge. He says, currently figuring it out. Came back to me and says, here's what I found. Looks like we double paid 12,200 miners and they're going to get removed from today's reward. That's the best fix we've got, right? So yesterday's reward was completed. So bad news for you skeptics. You did not find the smoking gun. You found a bug. You found a little issue with our system that we're aware of. We know exactly what happened. We know how to prevent it from happening in the future. But as always, guys, all this blockchain stuff, you can track it all the way. Where does the mining output go? You can look at that wallet. You can look at everyone that gets paid out when that wallet clicks over into midnight Universal Time, and you can see exactly where it goes. You can trace all the stuff all the way. And so if you think you found the smoking gun, maybe you did. Maybe this whole thing is a scam and I just didn't know.
Maybe we don't give Bobby privileges till he has a cup of coffee.
Whatever the case may be, the bottom line is this. We're a new system. We're growing. We're developing all of this stuff from the ground up. It's all brand new. No one's done what we've done. No one's done it before. We have things that we can point to and reference. We have code bases that we can share from. But we're doing some kind of cool revolutionary stuff. You know, we brought the Litecoin layer 2 OmniLite stuff out of the graveyard, and it was abandoned back in 2017 when Charlie Lee checked out. We brought it back into reality. And so we're doing some really advanced technical stuff. We've got really great technical people on our team. And every once in a while, things don't go as planned. Does that mean you found the scam? No, it means you found something that sucks. And it costs us time and it costs us money to have to find the problem and fix the problem. But that's what you're able to do when you've got a healthy business model. And so that's what we do. We find problems, we fix them, we get better, we improve, and we move on. You know, one of the challenges as our community grows and it gets beyond like me and you or me and my boys is we got 33,000 people now, and they don't know me. You know, they have heard a thing or two that Bobby and his friends might be really awesome. And of course, those rumors are all right, and 100% correct. But the point is that if they don't really know me, if they don't know what's in my heart, if they haven't watched how hard we've worked to bring us to where we are now over the last 78 plus weeks, they don't know the commitment that we have to fixing problems. Like, well, what's the problem that's going to come up that's going to like totally derail this project and cause it to die and crash and burn? Nothing. Unless and until the day comes that I lock the door and slide the key under, this project will continue. So whether it's a reward that didn't go correctly, or it's a commission that didn't calculate correctly, or it's points that didn't calculate correctly, or the system goes down, these are all insignificant detail window dressings of a very exciting, very hot, very successful project going through basic growing pains. And if you're not able to stomach them with me, if you're not able to deal with those things with me head on, then this may not be the right rocket for you. We're new. We're doing something different. It ain't easy. We're paying a fortune. Last week's payroll was $192,000. We're paying a small fortune to find the best people that money can buy to come and join our team to help us drag this cart in the direction of the wind, to push it over the goal line for all of our benefit. Our financial futures, you, me, him, they're tied together now. If I don't win, you don't win. If you don't win, I don't win. We're all in this together. We're learning together. We're exploring together. We're growing together. We're taking hits together. You know, sometimes it's going to hurt you. I got a man in the middle attack a couple weeks ago for $250,000. You know how much it set us back? Not a single thing, because that's what a healthy organization does. It has retained earnings to deal with problems that come up. It has great quality people on staff that are working around the clock to deal with things that come up. That's what you can do when you've got a healthy model like TexitCoin. Guys, we're out of time for today. Let me check real quick to see if there are any other questions in here. What is up with the error? Answered. How do we find the 3 letters you wrote? Go to help.mindtxc.com. Click on the category for TXC Basics. You'll find those at the bottom of that list. Why is the hash rate in the hundreds? Good question. Guys, look, the mine is not doing well right now. You would say, well, does anyone care? Yeah, we've got a lot of people on the mining team now. But we know what the problem is that's causing the mines to continue failing. It's a voltage problem. I am in deep disagreement about exactly what the issue is. But let me show you real quick what I see, just as we wrap up this call here this morning. I've got access to the system that shows us the health of the mine in McKinney. And it's going to take a minute to connect here. But once it pulls it up, here is the mining software that's monitoring all of the mines that are connected in the McKinney mine, right? That's mine number 0. And you can see a couple different things. First of all, a whole bunch of them are dead. Now, the ones that are alive, you can see that they are not mining. It's mining, but it's mining at 0.0 megahash per second. What's happening? When it comes across an error, the miner reboots. When it reboots, it cuts the hash rate down. So we've got a handful of these things that aren't running at all. And then we've got, like 2/3 of them that are not performing at all either. They think they're mining, but they're not putting any kind of useful stuff out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total that are in any way whatsoever productive. Our network hash rate right now is at 100 gigahash. Now, what's the deal? What are we doing? Okay. The deal is that sucks. The reality of the situation is today it doesn't really matter. We don't have any mission critical applications running on the network today. And even if we did, they'd still work properly because we've got some that are online. It's just the hash rate is dropping. Now we want the hash rate to go in that direction. And of course, that's the point. We won't get to the top of where we're going until we're able to prove to the world through the chart on the website that we did it. So it's important for us to do it. Rest assured, I know that. That's also the thing that keeps Falafel here out of jail. But long story short is these ASICs are $6,000 to $7,000 a piece by the time we get them in and drop them in the soup. we can't keep dropping ASICs in the soup and let them burn up with a voltage problem just so that the number on the website doesn't go below 3 or 400. We want that number to stay high, but we're waiting right now for the voltage stabilizers to come in. Once the voltage stabilizers come in, we turn on mine number 2, which is in Mansfield. We've got another B24 in Mansfield. Once Mansfield turns on, we can upgrade the B24 in McKinney to a B48. So that'll give us 72 ASICs running with the correct voltage, and 72 times 16,500 should put the network at or above 1,000,000 megahash, which is double and then some from where we've been historically. Okay. Now, all of that, again, is details getting us to the point where we turn on Victoria. That's my number 2 or my number 1, depending on how we're counting these things. But that's the next setup. And we're waiting patiently for Victoria Electric to call us and go, yo, it's done. Come flip the switch. Now, it hasn't happened yet. I thought it was going to happen while I was out of town, which was going to be disappointing because I really want to be there. And I want you to be there. I want you to have your cameras out. And I want you to show the world that we together did the thing that we told you we were going to do. 3 more containers have landed in the time that I've been gone. 2 more are in storage. The third one, I think, got delivered to another spot on it. But the point is, we're building a mine, and it's not easy. And we appreciate the patience and the latitude that you've afforded us as we go through the learning curve that's related to building the mine. And it's not always going to be the case where the numbers on the hash power are dropping. That's temporary as we figure out how to turn on number 1. Once number 1 turns on, I'm pretty sure number 2 and number 3 are going to turn on very closely behind that, because we're learning a lot from number 1. And we've already got things in place for number 2. Again, just waiting for us to figure out number 1. And so that's the deal with hash power. And again, I hate to say it, guys, but it's not a top concern for us today. Remember all the steps that go into building the mine. Number 1, buying the equipment. Number 2, paying for the equipment. Number 3, them shipping the equipment. Number 4, us getting the equipment. Then installing the equipment, installing the infrastructure for the equipment, the cooling stuff, and then dropping them in the soup and hitting the power on button. That's the last step in a long line of things that are required in order for us to follow through on building the mine. It is why we're here. It is the most important thing. But today it is not the tippity top of the priority because we don't have any mission critical applications running on the mine today. The city of McKinney was running its currency on there. Yeah, it would be a mission critical application. And we couldn't go back to the 250 vendors in downtown McKinney and say, sorry, Bobby was partying it up in Bangkok and was too busy to have your currency working properly. That all changes. That's why redundancy is so important. But we're still in the very early process of breaking out of the little startup thing that we had. Remember, we went from screaming L3s on the racks in the garage, creating 120 degrees of heat, to the little bathtub full of L7s, to the bigger bathtub full of L9s, to the L9s now crashing and dying one by one. And I'm not trying to burn a couple $100,000 of our money just so that the chart on the website looks impressive. Right? That's what it comes down to. And you heard it from me, right? That's my call. I told Eddie and I yelled at him. I said, stop dropping brand new L9s in the soup if we know that they're going to get fried. I don't have more broken L9s on our hand than necessary. And so that's on me today. Okay. If it's on me forever, that's when I go to jail. That's when I become like the guys that never did it in the past. And I go,
Good news is we've got the right people in the right seats, and the issue will be fixed. So it's just time.
maybe we got the right people. I'm mad at the mining guys today. I'm not getting great communication out of them. I'm over here on the other side of the world watching the same chart that you're watching. And I'm saying, where's the stabilizers? Where are we out of Victoria? Can I get any updates on this stuff? I'm getting angry. I'm not saying we're rolling heads, but I am saying that I'm as concerned about the chart on the website as you are, but you have to understand that today it's not a top priority. Okay? That's coming from me, Falafel, the guy that gets to make the final call on where we focus our attention. And today it is not on making sure that the mine's burning up in the soup reflect the work that we've done. Okay? So there's more coming through on that, and more coming soon on that. Let's check the next Q&A, but we're coming up on wrapping up this call because 7:15 and the ride to the airport awaits. Okay, issue number 1, how do you expect to sell mining when this tanking further? Our money should have been expected with 80 million. Our money should have been expected with 80 million in the company's pocket. I don't know what that means, anonymous attendee. Issue 2, failure should not take that effect on the entire community. They do. Issue number 3, why was this not done before? What are we talking about, anonymous attendee? Issue number 4, this is ridiculous. Why are we having these issues? I thought we had the best professionals on our team. Issue number 5, maybe the guy leading the team that you just brought on needs to be fired. I'm not sure which guy you're talking about. Talking about Captain Numbnuts?
I don't know.
Captain Captain Jack Bullnuts is what he goes, what he doesn't go by. We're just gonna have to move on from that name. You brought it up. If you didn't bring it up and if it wasn't clever, it wouldn't have stuck. But here we are.
Yeah.
Anonymous attendee, you're gonna have to be less anonymous to ask these kind of questions and more specific because I don't understand anything that you're talking about. If you want me to be a dick while I go through and answer them, let's try our best. How do you expect to sell mining when this is tanking, jumping, tanking further? I expect it because it's happening every day. Failure should not take the effect. That's what the community does. They bear the brunt of these things. Like when we got ripped off for 250,000, that was our money. I'm not paying that. We're paying that together as a community. Why was this not done before? Don't know what you're talking about. This is misspelled ridiculous. Don't we have the best people? We do. Maybe the guy leading the team. That's me. Should be fired. Probably not. Okay. Wasn't looking for a smoking gun. Just wanted to understand. Yeah, Doug, no, it's not you, but there are a lot of people making a lot of noise. And it's a realistic thing. How did the mine pay out twice? Where did it get the money from? Well, it didn't pay out twice. It paid out like 1.x number of times. And it has the ability to overpay because we have to put extra money in the wallet to get the party started. I think we had something like 20 or 60,000 TXC in there when it started all the way back in the beginning. But look, we have to treat all of these concerns as if they are the smoking gun because it's the same thing like the network marketing thing. Like people are going to accuse us of being a network marketing company. If it smells like a network marketing company, if it looks like one, if it tastes like one, it must be a network marketing company. We're not. But we say that we are because you're already thinking in the first place. So if you're thinking you found the smoking gun, and we call it just a little technical glitch that the advanced Department of Physiology is looking into today, it sounds like we're making things up, which of course most companies do when they don't have good information and straight answers to simple questions. I have receipts. I got proof. I can take you into the blockchain explorer and I can show you exactly what's supposed to happen and what actually did happen. The payout's supposed to happen right after midnight. It happened again halfway through the day. It's not supposed to happen again. That's because I pressed the button that is now grayed out. Anyway, so think about these things you come across like they could be the smoking gun and then demand accountability. Try to be respectful and courteous about it. You know, somebody reached out to Bitmars, the company we buy our L9s from, and said, "Did they really pay you? I mean, is this a real payment?" Like, okay, look, we gotta trust something somewhere at some point. How can I help people get their coins to scan? Arthur, that is not a good question. Someone market sold 15,000 coins on Dextrade, only 2,000 liquidity below this at that point. Yeah, I'll get some more cash in there, guys. Very nice. You sound great today, especially with my new people. The nice thing is that you're in the same boat as all of us. Yeah, I am in the same boat as all of you. Like I said, guys, our fates are tied together. It's either the yacht for me or sleeping under the bridge in Jakarta, Indonesia, on the run from, I don't know, 35,000 people that want to kill me. Let's hope it's the boat. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm Tim. This is Bobby. And we are wrapping up our time here in the land of smiles. It's been an adventure. I hope this recording gets shared far and wide because there's some great information in here today. It wasn't the sales call that you wanted, but it's the sales call that you needed. Why? So ultimately, at the end of the day, what you're selling is trust. If people like you, if people trust you, they will give you their hard-earned money. They will put their hard-earned money to work. They will put it to good use. If they think we're lying, if they think that we're uncomfortable addressing concerns and objections, they'll smell it from a mile away and they will not join us. But if they think that we're being upfront with you, the good, the bad, the bugs, the wins, the losses, the setbacks, if they think that we're being honest, then we're being better than 99% of everything on planet Earth today. There's a scam in everything. This is the real me, not the AI me. I don't know, teeth or fingers. I got terrible teeth. AI would give me spectacular teeth. The real us. We're real people. We're doing a real thing. It's not easy. We appreciate the commitment, the investment that you've made. I'm not supposed to say investment. You've invested your time to be here on this call. You've invested your your brain power. You've invested your money. We get it. You need to think of it like it's something other than an investment, but you've made an investment, a commitment of your resources to be with us here today, and we value that. We want you to know we value that. We're going to, be kind of addicted to some of the questions that you ask that don't seem to be completely respectful from people that we don't know. And we're going to be totally upfront and make videos and recordings to address other things that are real issues that need to be addressed. We're just real people. We're doing an amazing thing together. It's extraordinary. And that's what makes TexitCoin great. Bobby, Tim, and we're off to Singapore. We'll catch you guys again tomorrow on the Miners Chat. Have a great night.